Hello and welcome to the Magg'z show. I get questions all the time about firefighting in the Air Force, so I'll talk about it. Well, I'm gonna talk about firefighting in the Air Force, but I'm gonna talk about it in kind of a weird way. It's not gonna really. I'm not gonna go through it in a normal way someone normally would. I don't know how to explain this. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, man, it was so serving my country and like putting fires out and saving kitties, which I did. I'm gonna, man, it was crazy, man. It was just like, okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys some stories. So, man, I remember this one time we got this call. And they were like, hey, man, there's some cats in the storm. There's some cats that need rescuing. And we don't have really much information on it. So I was like, all right, cool. So you have 1 minute. You run to the truck. Of course, it's on a fire. So we're just like, all right, we're going to go rescue some cats. Cool beans, man. Like, we're firefighters now. Like, we're freaking rescuing cats. And so we're driving in the housing on base. And I'm like, yeah, these cats are in this damn storm drain. And I'm just like, oh, damn, man. Like, that's going to suck for whoever has got to go down there. And then, sure enough, I'm the new guy. So they're like, hey, yeah, you. And I'm just like, oh, come on, man. And so they open up the storm drain. And then, like, I'm in full pack, and I think I took my, I don't think I was masked up. I think I had my, oh, no, yeah, I was masked up, actually, now that I think about it, because I was going down into a freaking hole. So I was masked up, got my light on. We opened up the damn storm drain, and I go in there, and it was just pitch black dark. And I was like, oh, crap, man, I got to get in that thing. So I go down there, and I put my feet on the ground, man, and I turn my light on it, and I go, clink, and I just see hundreds of things just go whoosh, up the damn wall, and I'm just like, man, I hate bugs, man. I hate bugs, and there's some crazy ass bugs in New Mexico. I'm talking like vinegaroons, camel spiders, cockroaches, just nasty ass freaking moths as big as your damn hand, like huge. Then they hand me down the hose because we're gonna flush these cats out because there's a bunch of kittens. And so how it's set up is, so these cats are in the storm drain. When I went down there, I realized, okay, so the storm drain goes on like this, and then there's a small tube connecting one storm drain to another. And so these kittens are in this tube, and so we had to flush them out. And so to, little by little, not like to try to drown them, but just little by little to try to get them to, to go down this tube. And then there's a firefighter on the other side that's ready to catch him. And so I'm down there, and I'm just like, just flushing these damn cats out, man. And dude, I'll tell you what, man, that was freaking terrifying, man. But yeah, that's the first time I rescued some cats out of the storm drain. We ended up getting all of them out. But that just sucked being down there with all those damn bugs. Disgusting. Now, I remember this one time too, man. I was out at Station 3. Station 3 is out in like middle of nowhere. It's like Holloman Air Force Base is actually like huge. So we're out in the middle of nowhere, and we get this call, and it's like, damn freaking, it's a Station 3 out here, man. It's damn all the way, damn bucket. You got Birdie Mouth, Montana. Like, it's like way out there. Like, it's probably about 15 miles from the freaking station. And there's just a bunch of abandoned buildings out there. And so I'm playing like Fallout at the time. They're like, yeah, fire alarm going off of this building, whatever. And so I was like, all right, cool. And so we go down there, and we show up, and it's just fenced-in building, and it looks like an old, there's a garbage truck over there, and it looks like kind of like maybe a waste building or something like that. We weren't really sure, but kind of like an office-y building. And so the fence is locked, so we had to go through that, and then we're trying to find an entrance in, and so I ended up going through the side, and we found a window was unlocked. So I open up the window, and I'm going in this building, man. And I'm stepping through this, and I'm talking like a building that hadn't been touched in like 40 or 50 years. And I'm talking like cobwebs everywhere, spiders, green flickering lights just flashing. And I'm just like, turn on my freaking lamp, and it's just like, boom, just dust. And it's just like, oh my gosh, I am in a freaking video game. This is insane. And so I'm walking through, and I have this light on, I got this light on, I'm watching my back, I'm watching my front. I ended up letting the other guys in, and then we all split up, and we all have our radios on us. So I was like, okay, you go this way, you go this way, you go this way, you go this way. And so we go out and search this building, and we're trying to find where the box is, and then the box is going to tell us where the fire alarm's coming from, and then we can find out what section of the building it is, and then we can go check it out. And so, and the rest of us are just going to go check out the building just to make sure there's no smoke or fire anywhere. So we're going to this building, man, and I remember it's just like the fire alarm's just going off. It's just like this hint, like sight, kind of green light, but it's so faint. And you see the fire alarm go off, and it goes dink, and it goes really bright. It goes kind of bright, pitch black, almost pitch black to like a light green, like the slightest light green on the ceiling, you know? So, and then I go in this one section of the building, and it's just like this slight, like mold green tint, like to the actual, the lighting of the room. And then that fire alarm's flashing, you know? And so it's just like flash, boom. And it's just like almost pitch black, but it has that slight, like eerie green to it. And then I'm going through and I'm checking, like, I see these, like, refrigerators and stuff like that on the side. I'm just like, yo, what is this, some kind of lab, man? And I open it up. And there's, like, these, like, containers, man. And they're, like egg cartons, but they're, like, holding some kind of thing and some, like, plants and stuff like that. Like, this all hadn't been touched in, like, I don't even know how long. So I'm just like, I have my I'm like, I don't have my mask on or anything like that. So I was like, I should not be breathing any of this in. And so I shut that door, and then I'm like walking through, man, and I'm just expecting a zombie to freaking just come out and just attack me. Like, I mean, that's the vibe of this place. No, the coolest ones though were, so they would put us in these train cars, and they would have a fire at one end of the train car, and then we would be on the other. And so they'd be fanning this fire just so we can have a demonstration of what the fire looked like. But what we didn't know is the thermometer on the train car was broken. So if everything gets to 1,000 degrees in a room, it instantaneously combusts. Okay, so the thermometer was broken, and so we're all in there, man. We're piling this train car. There's probably like 8 of us in there. And we're fanning, and we're on our hands and knees. So you're like just trying to always changing because your knees are just. I mean, you're talking a metal train car, and it's on fire, and you're in it. Okay, and what they're doing is they're giving a demonstration, and so, you know, you see it like a regular bonfire, and you see the flames going all crazy and stuff like that. Well, when you're in the actual train car, when you're in a building that's on fire, everything's in slow motion. The flames just travel. I mean, everything's in slow motion. They actually lick. The flames will lick you, and you can actually go up and be like, and then just be like, lick. And it's like, it's the gnarliest thing. And I remember I was looking at it, and it was just so beautiful. And then my mask started to warp, and I was like, yeah, man, it's time to go. And so we get out of there, and we found out, yeah, the thermometer was broken, and then people's clothes were actually burning. Like my American flag was like black on one side because it was just like so hot in there, and it's like we were all getting like squirted down. It was funny. I worked half on the flight line, half in the housing, 50-50. I did a lot of 911 dispatch as well. We had a F-16 crash, man. So I was working this one emergency and 911 dispatch with the F-16 that crashed, and I had 8 other emergencies pop off at the same time. So I had like 4 different radios with 2 emergencies each on them. I'm just writing it all down on a piece of paper. You wonder why I got anxiety, bro. I was the only one in there. It's crazy, man. But I remember this one time in tech school. So my tech school, there was 13. Tech school is where you learn to be a firefighter in the military. 13 Marines, 13 Marines, 2 Army, 1 Navy, and me in my class. So I was the only Air Force in my class. And I'll tell you what, when you see a Marine pass out in front of you, you're like, I can't. I'm the weakest branch. I mean, this one time we were doing this one exercise. So there's this building right here, right? And let's say this is like a 5-story building, and there's 4 of us lined up on this hose. Okay, there's one guy here, one guy here, one guy here, one guy here, and each guy has a job. And so one guy goes in, and you all going at the same time. So the first guy, you know, he's the leader, and he's gonna go to the very top of this freaking 5-story building and put out the fire. The second guy is gonna be helping him. The third guy is gonna be pushing the hose in the corners, and the fourth guy is gonna be humping hose. Like he's gonna be out here on the bottom, just freaking humping hose, okay? Now you're doing this. That's one round, okay? You gotta do that. You gotta switch, go to the back, do that, switch, do that, switch, go back, okay? And then you do each rotation at like once, right? And then you gotta do it again and again. And so we're out there from, it's about, actually out on the pad, so school starts at 6 a.m., but we're actually out on the pad at 8, and it ends about 4. And so we're out there. You got to drink a gallon of water every 2 hours out in the pad. I know that sounds like an excessive amount, but it's 113 out in San Angelo, Texas, and you're on a blacktop, and so it's actually 120. You're in full firefighter gear with a freaking pack on and a mask. You're drinking a gallon of water every 2 hours, believe it or not. And so we're doing that all day, man. And I remember at the end of it, I was standing there, and we're all in line. And this is just a normal day, man. And we're standing there, we're all in line, and then I'm thinking about pissing my pants because it's like, will it cool me off? Or will my piss be hotter than I am right now? You can't take off your mask until they tell you to take off your mask. And so then they're like, okay, you can take off your mask. So I take off my mask, and I remember I was just bone dry. And I was like, what the hell? Like, where's my sweat? And then I ended up talking to guys later on, and they're like, yeah, we all were thinking about pissing ourselves. I'm like, that's hilarious, man. We were that hot. And then after that, then we got to go back to schoolhouse, new PT. So then we got to run a mile and a half. And so I'm running a mile and a half on this old runway. And I remember I touched my forehead, and it was just like ice cold. And it's 113, 115 out. And I was like, should I just run faster or just stop? So I was like, I'm going to book it. And so I just book it. And then I do my push-ups and sit-ups. And then I go to my dorm, and I pass out on my freaking tile floor, because that's what I do every day, just because it's cold. And that's the day in the life, man. But I remember this one time, they put us all in a building, and it was 2 stories, but there was probably 20 or 30 rooms in this building, and they separated us, okay? So there was 8 and 8, okay? So 8 of the firefighters had this mask on, and they were zip tied or something like that, or so, I don't know, but they were blindfolded, and they had their mask on, and so they couldn't make any noise, so you couldn't hear them. And then they placed them in this building, somewhere in a room, and this is a maze. And us. Right? So we had to go find our partner. And my partner is a 6'4" guy named Braun. And he's my partner the whole time. Huge guy. And I'm the smallest guy. So I had to go find my buddy Braun. Full gear, mask, helmet, Nomex, gloves. Now, the rules are you can't leave contact with a hose. Because if you leave contact with a hose, you might not know how to get back. And if you don't know how to get back out of a fire, you're dead. And so the whole time you're doing this, even while rescuing your partner, you have to make contact with the hose and him at the same time, no matter what. And at no point can you take off your mask, or else you're done. You get watched back. So you go in there and you're feeling these guys, and you're getting a sense of who they are and trying to listen to them. And then you're like, okay, that's not my partner. So you're going and you find this guy. That's not my partner. And then you finally find your partner. Then you got to link up with them, and then you got to drag them out of the building. But while you're dragging him out of the building, your instructors are coming behind you and turning off your tank. And so when you breathe, you're dragging your partner out of this building, and you're like, and you can't breathe, and you got to turn on your tank. And they went over here and turned this on. So you turn on your tank, this blows stuff in your face, and you go turn this off, and they turn your tank off again. So you're just sucking nothing. Then they'll disconnect your hose and then wrap it behind your freaking back, and then you gotta find it while making contact. So you gotta do all this with 1 foot on the hose, one hand on your teammate and then one hand free trying to do all this. You know, it's just try to prevent you from panic and stuff like that. And then we had claustrophobic training and all that stuff too. But yeah, man, it's crazy, man. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and I almost got kicked out for buying alcohol for a minor when I was in, which I didn't do that day. Yeah, tech school was a shit show. I had a black eye, and it was crazy, man. I bought a car for a girl that I never even asked out. Like, you know, I like bought it to impress her, and I never even asked her out. Stupid. Never even talked to her. Yeah, story of my life. But stories about being a firefighter. Fire protection and emergency services. I just like saying fire crash rescue because it just sounds cooler. Yeah, it was fire crash rescue. No big deal. No big deal. I mean, if you guys want me to go into more detail and actually talk about, I don't know, I can talk about that for a long time. But all right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in. I hope you. I don't know. Today was just about sharing some experiences. You know, and if you're thinking about joining, I would recommend it. Yeah. It's great. The main thing is the relationships you build. That's the only thing that I got out of the military was relationships that I built, because I can't be a firefighter anymore. You know, I'm broke. I can't be a firefighter anymore. But the relationships that you make in the military are just bonds that just will never break. And like I would rather go visit my friends from the military than go home for Christmas. And I know that sounds bad, but it's just that bond that we developed. You know, we were in it together. We were in this shit together. And it's the best and the worst times you'll never want to do again, but you'll never take back. I like that. Classy. All right, guys. That's all I got for today. And as always, click that like and subscribe button and that little notification thing. And I'll catch you later.